What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got to talk about the GameSpot review of Cyberpunk 2077. So, there's a lot of stuff going on with this. There's a ton of drama online. I want to make my point as clear and as focused as I can. I do have a lot of trouble with that because I do like to just talk and ramble, but I'm going to try my absolute best, okay? This is going to be one of those spicier, edgier topics. If you guys continue to like these, make sure, as always, you're subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. All my other social media stuff. I have a Twitch. I have a second channel. I have a Discord. I have a Twitter. If you guys want to support me in any of those places, it's all in the description below, and I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, I am on the side of AntiGameSpot, and I'll tell you why. There's a lot of things going on with this review. A couple things to make note of. Number one, this is not a harassing video. This is not going after. I'm not even gonna mention her name, the one who reviewed this game. This is not going after her at all. I don't want anybody else going after her. I will not go after her, okay? None of that's gonna happen. But I think it's important to talk about when this stuff happens because I still feel like some people still kind of live in this bubble, and I think we need to break that bubble. And specifically, one of the bubbles is that gaming journalists should be taken seriously, and that's a bubble that I think just should not happen. Now, you know, I really do think, number one, YouTube is overtaking all of these people, and they're getting very jealous, and they're getting very mad, and you see them kind of lash out. This is, by the way, because I've seen, like, the Quartering did a video on this, this has nothing to do with that, because I do have different points I want to focus on, and it's got nothing to do with him, and again, I'm not really going to even focus on the person who did this herself, although, I do want to make mention, this is the same person who did the Too Much Water review. Now, I didn't know that when all this drama started breaking out. I didn't know this was the same person, but this is, in fact, the same person who did the Too Much Water in the Pokemon game for IGN's review. This is also the person that was mad that the zombies were white in Days Gone, even though there were reasons for them being that way. So just so we know who we're dealing with, I think it's important to bring that stuff up. And honestly, those are two things, by the way, that are pretty darn embarrassing. And you know, I have seen people say, like, why do these people still have jobs after they do stuff like that? I mean, you know, I'm not here to cancel anybody, but look, ultimately, here's the situation. She reviewed the game. She gave the game a 7 out of 10. Now, a thing to make note of, by the way, is I am not above criticism. Nobody is above criticism, and that's the biggest point. So one thing I do want to make very clear is I have no problem with her giving the game any score she wants. As I've said, I don't care about review scores. You know, if the average on Metacritic is an 88 instead of an 89, am I going to cry about it? No. Firstly, it's not even my game. You know, and secondly, it's just not something that means that much to me. Now, there are sometimes bonuses that companies give actual to the employees based off the Metacritic score. I think they should probably stop doing that, but that does still happen. So I think there are people that do put stock in this stuff. It's just not me. But the point is, all of the stuff is her opinion. She has every right to her opinion. I do not think the article should be taken down. I don't, you know, none of that stuff. I'm not into canceling. I'm not into deplatforming. And if you are, I don't think this is a good place for you because I'm just for anything. Now, if you're hugely breaking rules, if you're really stepping over lines, something needs to be done. I don't even know if it's necessarily deplatforming, though. So that's where I kind of stand on it. I think the article should stand. The review should stand, which, by the way, it did. But what didn't is the podcast they did talking about the review, which at the time that this started happening, I think even at the time that the Quartering made the video, it was getting destroyed in dislikes. It's now gone. They deleted that video. And maybe they deleted the video because in that video, she basically admits she didn't do most of the stuff in the game. Now, again, it's her. She's her own person. It's her review. She can have whatever opinion she wants on the game. I cannot stress that enough. So if anybody comes after me that's like, oh, you're just attacking your attacker. No, what part don't you understand? And this is only for the people attacking me. She has every right to make that review because no matter what you do, every review is in some way going to be opinionated, okay? I get that we go to gaming journalists, or we should go to them for kind of unbiased, like break it, and that's kind of why you go to journalists in general, right? They're supposed to be in the middle. They're not supposed to be taking sides, which is just, obviously that's not the case anymore, okay? Everybody takes it. Most people take one specific side. Some people take the other side. But again, you really shouldn't take, if you're a journalist, you shouldn't take either side. You're supposed to be unbiased. And same thing with games, and I get that. But I also get that, even when I do a review, like, you're getting my personality. You know that I like certain things. You know that I dislike certain things, and that's fine, okay? There is that area to it. But also, when you're doing it on a major publication, GameSpot, right? Huge, just anything, okay? It's a big place where a lot of people go for their gaming news, gaming reviews. You do want to make it like open and like accepting to all these people, where if they're going in and they've never seen this before, it should be like unbiased. But in a way, it actually goes further than that. This game is an RPG. This game is meant to be for a specific group of people. And again, like, anybody can buy any game, so you should make the review basically for anybody. But if you're expecting it to be one thing and you go in and you play it like something else and then you criticize it because of it, you're not doing it justice. And that's pretty much what she said in the video, is that she crafted one weapon. She spent zero time doing pretty much anything, which includes side missions, by the way. She did very little side missions. She went shopping one time, which the other guy then said that he went shopping nonstop in the game. She crafted one weapon. She didn't upgrade her weapons at all. So did she really play it? Now, that's kind of where the drama and that kind of, over-exaggeration comes in. I think a lot of people are going and you're maybe seeing headlines like, this person hates RPGs or this person didn't play the game. I'm sure she did play the game. I just don't think she played enough of it. And that's the thing. That's the biggest thing to me. It's like, you're going to this review for info, for knowledge, to read something or watch the video from someone who did it, who played it. And they played it early. They got this game, I don't know for sure, but there were rumors that the people in the gaming, outlets, they got this game weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago. So it's not like she didn't have enough time to put into all of these different things. And ultimately, if you're reviewing a game like this that is bolstered by the amount of things to do, that's kind of the whole point of this game, right? Look at all the positive reviews. One of the things that you'll see is the campaign is very short, but there's so much to do in this world besides it, and that's like the important part. But if you didn't do all that stuff, if you didn't experience the weapons and the crafting, and then she says, like, the side stuff, like, there'll be cops that ask for your help, and she's like, I don't want to help cops. Well, firstly, there's a slight issue there, but we won't really go into that all that much. But secondly, like, okay, well, and people even wrote in the comments there, again, the video is gone, but people even wrote in the comments, like, again, that's like in Witcher, that's like in any game, like, if a random event happens and you're like, nah, I won't do it, but I'm going to judge the game based off of it as well. Because it's basically like it didn't happen. Like, if I didn't do that random event, it's like the game didn't even have it in there, and I have to judge it accordingly. But you skipped it. And that's the biggest thing. So, one more time, I don't care the score she gave it. I don't care that I got a 7. In fact, Jeff Grubb, right, gave the game a 6. And I know that's becoming a whole thing where it's like, oh, you guys are just attacking females. No, it's not attacking females. I don't care. That's the biggest thing. I don't care the score of this game. You could give this game a 100, which, by the way, I don't think the game deserves a perfect score. If a game is destroyed, bugs and glitches, even though that day one patch is most likely going to fix most of them, you still can't give the game, I would say, a perfect score because the game factually has issues, okay? So, I guess you still can if you really, I get it. Like, games very much connect to you. Games that aren't perfect, you may look at as perfect. I get, that's that, by the way, again, that's that biasness. That's your opinion. And everybody's allowed to have that because there's really no way of removing it. But when you flat out ignore major sections of a game that is basically built around you experiencing that stuff, you have taken yourself out of the equation. You are now... why are you doing the review? That's the biggest thing. I've said for a while, and it's tough because, again, I get both sides of it. I've thought about it a while, like, when a movie gets so many sequels, let's say, like a Transformers or like a Pirates, those are two that I always go to. Like, I hate the Transformers movies, besides the first one. Like, they're all complete garbage. But, like, a lot of people hate the Pirates movies after the first one, and I adore them. So the question is, do you have somebody that likes those movies reviewing the sequels, or do you have somebody that is, that can actually, like, poke holes at it? I think you have somebody that kind of does both. You know what I mean? I don't want somebody reviewing, and this goes to the game. games, movies, television, anything, music. I don't want somebody reviewing an album from my favorite band. So like the Smashing Pumpkins is my favorite band, and a new album just came out. Nobody's probably heard of it, but it's fine. I don't want somebody who despises the Smashing Pumpkins to review that. You know what I mean? The fifth Pirates movie, when it got destroyed in terms of reviews. Well, like, at that point for the fifth movie, are you really making it for people that hate the movie? No, you're making it for the people that have followed it all the way through. So when the movie gets destroyed, it's like, all right, you can point out its flaws. I've pointed out its flaws. I've pointed out loads of flaws in things that I absolutely adore, because I think you have to be able to do that. But I'm also a fan, and you guys know that, and people know that. You know what I mean? That's where it is conflicting. There's definitely not like a perfect route to this, but I think in this situation for GameSpot's editor, or this person, this girl, which again I'm not gonna say her name or anything like that, but for her to do this, it's like, why are you playing? Now, again, there's no evidence she despises RPGs, but she has a history of doing really dumb things with the Pokemon, with Days Gone. She's done this before. And in this one, it just flat out seems like she didn't play the game. Now, yes, she did play it, so I guess, is that a fake news kind of headline that I just said out loud? She did play it, but did she really? Did she really do everything? No. And when it's a game that you should do everything, and it doesn't even seem like, and that's the biggest thing too, she didn't do it not because she didn't have enough time. She didn't say, well, they only gave me 3 days to do it. No, she said, I didn't want to do it. It didn't feel necessary. But it is necessary. It's part of the game. And it's a focus of the game because it's an RPG. That's some of the things you do in RPG. That would be like making doing like a city like simulator, like City Skylines or like Sim City, and saying like, well, I don't want to really manage things. Like, that's not really the game I want. Well, why are you reviewing that game? You know what I mean? I did my Mickey Mouse voice there, by the way, if you guys didn't notice. So, like, you know what I mean? Hopefully I'm getting through with you with that part. Obviously there's opinions and there's biasness. I get that. But if you don't like these kind of games, you don't like these major systems, then don't play the game. Get somebody else to do it. Because there are problems with Cyberpunk. I've seen them. I'm sure people would be willing to say them. When I play it myself, I'm sure I will tell you guys real problems with this game, okay? Because there are, and it's okay to say it. But to say, like, there's things in this game that I'm just going to flat out ignore, but I'm going to review it as like a full-length thing, and you have this job where you're supposed, like, for me, okay, I'll review this game like several days after the game. I'm a smaller channel, like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously there are people that look to me for opinions, but I'm not her. I don't work at GameSpot. That's an important thing. You need to have your review, and it needs to cover these things, and it doesn't. It flat out doesn't. So it's not about the score. I don't care. I don't care if you give this game a 5 or a 4. You'd probably look pretty stupid. In fact, Jeff Grubb and her are definitely around the lower end of the review scores. That's fine, though. That's fine. I don't care if they gave it those scores. I care if they played it. See, if Jeff Grubb did all these things, which I think he did, if he did all these things and it just didn't work, then you give it the score and you move on. But for her, same thing, and it's fine. But if you flat out didn't do those things, you can't say you didn't like them. If you flat out didn't do those things and you don't even like them in the first place, then why are you reviewing the game? You know what I mean? Hopefully all that got through. Stop going to GameSpot. Stop going to IGN. Stop going to Kotaku. That's pretty much the main thing. I'm not saying they're all terrible. I'm not saying everybody that works at these places are all terrible. There's plenty of really amazing people there. In fact, I know people that follow me or watch me that work for like DualShockers and stuff like that. Like, there are some, I go on Push Square, I go on PlayStation Universe, I go on DualShockers. There's some amazing people out there, some really, really amazing people. But it's also something that's just not working right now that needs to be fixed. And it's mainly because these people keep getting propped up. And then when you go after them, and not even going after, nobody's really going after them. We're just talking about something hilarious that happened. Then you have all the other blue check marks, all the other people in the gaming industry having their back and saying that they're fantastic people and they do such an amazing job and we're the enemy. Report us, do all that stuff. Well, firstly, you should be against that stuff in general, and that kind of shows their true colors. And secondly, when you see them all kind of propping up somebody who obviously has had some problems in the gaming industry and all that kind of stuff, they're all in it together, and it's just, you don't want to be associated with that group. I don't want to be associated with that group, and that's just how it is. So Let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? What do you think about this entire fiasco? Leave it in the comments. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. And again, all my other social media stuff, my Twitch, my Discord, my second channel, and my Twitter are all in the description below. It would be really awesome to have you guys join any of those. But again, obviously the biggest thing would just be subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. There'll be more Cyberpunk videos for any controversies that happen, but also actual in-game Cyberpunk videos I'll be starting today as well, okay? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.